because the YouTube live recording was private. None of the like YouTube to MP3 converter websites could work on it because technically it was a private MP3. So I just had to go back in and like repost it as public and then download it like that.
Got it.
But actually, I can go ahead because those will be posted at the end of when we record every week anyway. I can just go ahead and like convert that to MP3 and send it to you at the same time that I send my MP3 tonight if you want me to, just for you to have like the spares.
Yeah, that'd be good. Because one of my points I was gonna make is I messed with it for like half an hour earlier, and it sounded a lot better than when I do all three individual ones and put them together. Because there's no echo or anything. I'm not saying we shouldn't do both, but I'm just saying that it was interesting hearing that the YouTube one was like it just sounded better.
All right, well,
because there wasn't the echo. It was just there just wasn't an echo on it like there is on the GarageBand ones.
All right, well, now at least we know. I'll go ahead and like grab that off of YouTube after we finish, and then go ahead and just send that to you with my MP3 file, and you can figure out whichever one sounds better.
Alrighty.
The only thing I was thinking that the pieces might be better for is like just the cutting aspect of like one person's voice.
There's no question. That's why, yeah, we can't. We still have to do it the way we've been doing it, but it's good to have that available.
Yeah. And I mean, even if like I mean, I guess if there's no echo and they sound good, it would save you time on cutting. If like there's a full segment where there was no like places where you needed to cut anyone's like mess up or anything, you could just pull the entire cut from that segment.
Yeah.
Or from like that MP3 file, I guess. But
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I can just send that to you after we finish up tonight.
Hey, can you guys hear? Can you hear me? If I put my hand like this, can you hear that? I'm fisting my microphone.
I heard you take
interesting term.
I heard you take a gulp of your Coke. So, and yes, I can hear you.
It's that sensitive. I'm just trying to figure out how we can begin. Is there a way on? Because like we need a cough button. Is there a way on
mute? Oh, not on GarageBand. I don't think though.
All right. Well, I guess we can.
For the Google Hangout, you can mute yourself though if you're gonna cough.
Just like move your mouse over the screen and it'll come up on the top. You should have like a turn camera off or turn mic off or hang up options.
Yes, just turn off your mic when you're gonna cough on that end.
I got you. Okay. Well, so I'm sort of like ready to hit record, and I've got my thing set up now so that I can sort of see that the recording is working behind the conversation.
All right. Well, I'm good to go on that as well.
Yep. 3, 2, 1.
Sounds good.
Okay. My shit is working. It is running. Hopefully it will continue to run. I just launched the conversation back and it's still running. So, all right, we'll keep an eye on it. Okay. So the things that you guys have March Madness wise are sort of really, really sportsy. I assume. What do you guys there's games tonight, right? So like
Loyola and Nevada's happening right now. I think Nevada's winning early.
Okay. Cool. All right, my recording's working. So
and then there's another game tonight. Shit.
Michigan versus
oh wait, no, all of the
Texas A&M or whatever.
Yeah.
Michigan A&M. Or Michigan.
Here we go. I have it up. Michigan, Texas A&M's at 7:30. Kansas State, Kentucky's at 9:30, and Florida State Gonzaga's at 10.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow is Duke, Syracuse, Clemson, Kansas, Purdue, Texas Tech, and West Virginia, Villanova.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, we got that. just before we go, Matt, do you have anything really to talk about, like specifically about the NBA that you want to like hit? I mean, I know Tyler's stepping down, obviously, but I mean, Cleveland's not really. They seem to be doing all right.
No, I took notes on what we're going to talk about, and now I took notes on shit this morning, and now looking after all my notes, it's super fucking broad. It was just like things I've seen the past like few days. So if you,
what are those
something
things?
you really,
what are those things?
Dan Toney said that Harden is the best offensive player in the history of the NBA. You can go over, I don't know, dude. Then I had like, has there been a day entering the league that LeBron has not been mentioned on ESPN during the NBA season?
That is a phenomenal fucking question, and I would
actually, I was about to say let's definitely do that one.
I would take it one step further because I'm not like, has there been a single day in the last 10 years where LeBron James was not mentioned a single time on ESPN for a whole day? I would say no, and I would put those odds at like, yeah, like I'm not even sure where you would lay that, where I would begin to turn and be like, no, I'm going to lay the money elsewhere.
All right, save that then. And then, Blake Griffin says he loves Detroit more than the Clippers.
Get the fuck out of here. I saw that too, dude. And Blake Griffin.
I'll say this. He's saying what he needs to say because he's going to be there for a couple more years, but
no one
I'm not gonna like trash on the dude for saying that when I don't think the Clippers are that well run of an organization in general. I'm not gonna label the Pistons as the model organization, but I'm definitely not gonna say that the Clippers did good when they had him and Paul and they got Doc Rivers to do all of their to just come in there and run everything, and they wrecked a team that should have at least had a finals appearance.
I'm not sure that anyone in sports has aged more since he came onto the scene than Doc Rivers. I mean, he never looks happy. He never sounds happy either, for that matter. And the same goes for Stan Van Gundy in Detroit, to be quite honest. I mean, both those guys, they just seem like miserable humans, and how could you blame them? Especially Stan Van Gundy. I mean, that guy was living it good in Miami. And then he decides
and then Dwight Howard got him the fuck out of there.
Then he decides that he's getting. Well, that wasn't when he was in Orlando, but after his coaching days in the NBA, he was living in South Florida, and then he decided that he was going to move himself and his family to Detroit, Michigan, which is, I know we've sort of talked about this before, but like on the hierarchy of places that professional athletes want to compete, that's got to be. It's in the Cleveland category.
Oh yeah,
I got it here. I have a really good question. It made me think about it because you brought up like free agent destinations in sports. In football, if you're a destination that players, if you're Cleveland and players don't want to go there, either to the city because it's Cleveland or because of the fact that they have a losing culture. Why not, if you're that like franchise, why don't you just be like, we're only going to offer full guaranteed contracts? Like we're not going to give long-term contracts. We're going to do like 3-year deals on guys that we know are a hit, fully guaranteed contracts. Do you not think that would make people be like, fuck it, I'll go to Cleveland?
I think
when there's no guaranteed money in the NFL anymore.
I think that
right now.
I think that it's an interesting hypothetical, but the reason it doesn't work is because how fucking random the injuries are in that sport. And so it's as bad as the Cleveland Browns are at business, it's worse business to sort of give anyone in a sport that barbaric any sort of guaranteed money whatsoever. That's the reason that the Steelers are smart not to give Le'Veon Bell a long-term deal. As good as Le'Veon Bell is, he's also one hit away from his career being over, and it's bad business to rely on anyone or anything in that sort of terminal way.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. Le'Veon Bell, yes, but let's not act like everyone in football is not one hit away from losing it all.
That's exactly
Le'Veon Bell is a running back.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying I'm just saying I'm against the argument that running backs are that much more prone to injury in the NFL right now. No, it's not. They get hit a decent amount more, but like running backs in general are not any more of a danger to just getting their like entire legs blown out on any given play than receivers, than quarterback, than anybody else.
Agreed.
They have shorter
Maybe
careers.
It's good business. It's good business for the Steelers not to sign Le'Veon Bell long term, not because he is a running back prone to injury, but because he is a football player and therefore prone to injury. That's what I'm saying. The sport is random. So giving guaranteed contracts to everyone, it's impossible business because
I'm not talking about everybody. You give sure hit guys that you know are out there that are hitting the free agent market,
right?
That you know what you're going to get at least. You give a couple of them guaranteed deals, and then you just drop back in the draft and just have either pay them like fully guaranteed full contracts, or you're paying them like rookie deals, minimum contracts.
Right. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, Mac Young, you're a Browns fan. Like, why? Who wants to play in Cleveland, and why would you want to play in Cleveland?
The only reason that the only reason I would see someone wanting to play in Cleveland would be to prove themselves, to prove that they can compete and make a team better. But otherwise, I don't know why you would want to. I wouldn't want to play for the Browns.
Yeah,
it's tough. I have a question. Do you think they're going to draft Sam Darnold?
Oh gosh, I mean, I saw today that Stephen A. Smith was going off on.
Yeah, I mean, of course he had to find something to go off about. But like, as a Browns fan,
who do you want, Mac?
Number 1 overall, you're taking one of these quarterbacks?
Yes, and I'll say why. Just because the past since the beginning of time, they have gone for, ooh, this guy's been hot. Let's go for him. He's a good athlete, and then we'll take a quarterback like later, and just deal with that later. But now they have the first round pick, and just stop fucking up and just take the guy who looks to be the best quarterback, because you don't need Aaron Rodgers if they got like a Matt Ryan or something like.
That's what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah,
what are you talking about, Mac? What are you talking
No,
about?
because you can find Saquon Barkley is the best player in the draft, so like it looks like he's going to be.
Agreed.
But like a game changer is more your quarterback position than is it your running back position. You can get like a really good. They have so many other picks. They have like in the second round. They also have 2 picks in the second round. They can get a good running back in the second round that will be good for them.
Who do you want?
I want them to take Sam Darnold.
You want to know what I think? I think the Indianapolis Colts just painted a picture for what the Browns should do for this draft. They should trade back and get 11,000 picks, because the Jets just gave up 3 picks to move up there, to move up to number 3 to get one of these 3 quarterbacks. The Browns should honestly trade that 1 back to a 5 and pick up 2 more in the first round, and trade that 4 down to a 12 and get another pick in the first round, have 8 picks in the first round, and not have the pressure of having any of those guys come out in the first 5 picks and you bust on them, because that's what fucks over Cleveland, I think, every year, is they pick that great athlete like you're talking about, and it's always too much pressure on that one player who isn't a role player. And so why not trade back in the draft, since the Indianapolis Colts just got so much for that number 3 pick, which is trash this year, essentially, unless you want any of the top 3 quarterbacks.
The Browns.
And then I just don't know why you would want to be at the top of the draft this year, when apparently you can trade back and triple the amount of first round picks you get.
Dude, then why would you want to go with last week you said they should just pick Saquon Barkley, why would they want to get Saquon Barkley then when they could get a decent running back in the second round with one of their million picks?
That's what I'm saying. You don't pressure yourself into getting Saquon. I'm saying if they're keeping those picks, I don't trust any of these quarterbacks. I don't know who you should take at number 1, but I don't understand why you would take it. What, do you expect the Browns to not be in the top 3 picks in the draft next year, even with all these trades?
Dude, that's every fucking year. Every fucking year they have one of these picks, and every year they fuck it up. And sometimes they do that.
Trade back this year.
Stop. Sometimes they do that trade back shit, Every other year they try that shit, and it never fucking works. I'm tired of it. Stop doing it. Just take the fucking best player while they're available, and let's move our franchise forward. They do that shit too.
Mac.
Dude, Saquon or
you
quarterback.
Just said take the best player available, and that's Saquon Barkley.
Mac, your team is perennially bad precisely
because that shit, dude.
Mac, precisely because you fans and your organization chooses to traffic more in hope than you do in skill. You're going to draft the quarterback who isn't the best player because you are holding on to some hope that he is going to be an Aaron Rodgers or a Tom Brady, like you said. Or was it Matt Ryan and Aaron Rodgers?
They don't need one of them.
Mac, I agree with Will Mosley for one reason. The best team in football the last 15 years, have they had one fucking first-round pick? One. New England trades their first-round pick every year and moves down to get more picks for the same reason that I said the Steelers aren't going to sign Le'Veon Bell long-term. The sport is entirely fucking random, okay? No one knows who's good. I understand that these players are good in college, and what the fuck does that mean? Most of the time. Generally speaking, no one knows who's going to translate to the NFL. That's why it makes more sense to get as many fucking picks as you can, because you know that you are going to miss on some. As you know fucking well, you're a Cleveland Browns fan.
I don't know. I would just say, like, how many picks do you think you can get good, like, quality players in the NFL? Like, how many picks deep into the draft? I'd say probably the top 50.
I think you can get a good player in the NFL draft.
The second round, I think. Once you get out of the second round in the NFL draft, I think halfway through the third round, you get like that's when it starts being more of a crapshoot. You don't expect those players to come in first year and make a difference. I don't think when they're a third rounder or lower.
Oh my God, let's go through it, dude.
How many positions?
Find the first round from a draft 4 years ago and let's go through it. I don't think you realize how fucking random that sport is, dude.
No, I'm agreeing that it's that random. What I'm saying is most of the time, the valued picks, you can get probably in the top 50 or so picks, if not more than that. So there's no reason to have the top 5 pick and value it that much when you could have 4 picks in the top 50. It's more valuable to just have those because you can still get impact players that deep in the draft.
Okay.
There's no reason not to move back and just get a bunch of picks. And I'm saying I understand they've done it before and it hasn't worked well. But what I'm basing this off of is the fact that the Colts just sold a 3rd overall pick for a giant bag. They set the precedent for what this draft is worth and what these quarterbacks are worth. And any team that's going to want to move up and grab a quarterback, the Browns could sell for a ridiculous price.
But I understand what Mac's saying. Like, listen, dude, no one more than me is wants to sit here and rip on the sports fan, dude. But he has watched his organization the last several years. They have done that, right? Like, to their credit, they have traded down a couple times, and they've also
they've tried it all.
They've missed on picks also, but why? I get it. Like, swing the bat, dude. At least they're going to swing the bat and they're going to take a quarterback. And, like, as much as I want to sit here and sort of rip on them for being terrible organizationally, because they are, I guess I'd rather have it this way so that, like, we can rip on Mac in a year for how terrible the situation is anyway. I don't know how you fix it there, dude. And quite frankly, I don't want to sit here and do Fix Cleveland Browns podcast because we can leave that to Mike and Mike. But the interesting point to me is that, like, dude, Mac, you're speaking out of your ass when you're saying that you can have any sort of expectation that they're going to take one of these quarterbacks and that person is going to be Matt Ryan or Aaron Rodgers. Those things at that level, it's random, dude. It is random. Did the Packers know that they had Aaron Rodgers when they drafted him? I would say no. They would say yes, and I think that they would be playing the result.
Fair.
You're not wrong.
I just said this. Sorry. Matt, you trade down the number 1 pick and keep 4?
Yep. Would
like, I? I mean, I guess I guess that does eliminate you from getting one of those quarterbacks at 4 unless you like Baker Mayfield. Just because, I mean, I guess the Giants are probably going to take a quarterback, I would assume. And now I guess the Jets are probably going to take a quarterback since they traded up from Indy. So I guess whoever you trade the number 1 pick to would probably also want to get a quarterback. That's why they'd be trading there.
Would you go Nick Chubb since they got rid of JPP?
I saw that today, and I mean, does that mean that the Giants trade down? If they don't want a quarterback and they do want to just replace JPP or just like get more pieces, do they trade down? Do they take a Nick Chubb at 2 if they could trade down and guarantee that quarterbacks would be taken straight through the top 4 and you could like trade down to Denver?
I don't know. I don't know what you do.
But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out and how Cleveland screws up the draft this year.
Oh, yeah. The last thing I'll say,
they will screw
they have the past 3 quarterbacks they've like gone for is when they've done this, like when they've traded picks around or when they've not taken quarterback with their early pick and they've waited on their quarterback for that later pick instead of waiting for another position. They got Tim Couch, was good for like a year. Johnny Manziel, nope. Deshaun Kaiser, nope. I say, as a Browns fan, this is a sports fan talking, swing the fucking bat, and hopefully that guy can at least last like 5 fucking seasons as a starter.
I mean, dude, that's what I'm saying, dude. You've already dropped off from Aaron Rodgers or Matt Ryan to lasting 5 seasons, dude.
Franchise quarterback, dude. Franchise quarterback.
So you'll take.
For the Browns fan,
you would take.
For the Browns fan, a franchise quarterback is someone who lasts over 3 years.
That's fair.
And that would be a fucking win.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, gosh, dude, I don't even know. I mean, it's hard to. It's really hard for me to sit here and watch you be this hopeful, dude. And that makes me sound like such an asshole, but also I just don't think you have any reason to believe in your team, dude. I don't think you have any reason to believe that they're going to get this right, dude, and that they're going to play their hand exactly according to how they should. And
they're going to fuck up. But that's why I want a lot of picks at the beginning of the draft. So hopefully they like the 1 or 4 is a good pick.
Fine. And I think what I would say, and I don't know where this line is, dude, but having a few picks at the beginning of the draft and a fuck ton of picks at the end of the draft, like there is a point somewhere on that scale where it tips it and you just want to acquire as many picks as possible. I don't know where that is, but dude, they've gotten it wrong so many times at the start of the draft, Mac. Why not try it a different way, right? And that's why they're not a great organization, because they continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. And you're going to continue to feel this way over and over again, where you're going to sit here and be hopeful, and then they're going to make the pick, and that pick is most likely not going to come through in any sort of significant way. And when he does, we're right back here again. All right, cool.
All right, just on a little side note, since you did say you like Sam Darnold, I saw that a bunch of people were comparing him to Tony Romo, so that'll be fun if he ends up being Tony Romo. You could have one of the biggest dudes that's just a walking mistake waiting to happen, going up with a franchise that's one of the biggest mistakes, always just waiting to happen.
Yes.
My thing's not recording. What the fuck, dude? It's like showing my bars, but it's not like registering when I speak.
Boom.
I mean, I know that I got that whole segment. It just like,
what the hell? But you're like when you're on your GarageBand, try to move your volume on the one that you're actually working on down a little bit and see if it'll capture your voice a little better.
I mean, it was just capturing it just fine. I don't know what happened. Like it's still taking all the bars. It's still running. Like you guys are at what, 6:45, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I'm saying like down where it'll say like narration, vocal, or whatever it says on yours.
yeah, I've got it there. It's just not.
The volume
It's
little
not
button.
picking. It's not picking
Try
up.
to drag it lower. Where are you at? Are you at
0.
What's your volume decibel at? If you need to turn it, you might need to turn it down to pick you up more clearly.
Hello, hello. No, it's just not even picking me up at all, man. It's not even like there's not even a bar there. It's not even shaded. It's just the line moving over bars. I know I got that first segment though. I may just have to start a new thing.
Huh.
You guys are totally right in that last segment with everything you said. I just went total like sports fan for a second and got kind of heated.
Oh, that's fair.
Now that I'm calm, I see how what you guys said was right.
All
right, I got it figured out. What bar are you guys at?
684.
Yeah,
85.
I'm at the same place. I'm like 2 bars behind. I've got everything here content wise. It's just like that part where we just went to break there for a second. There's like a minute where it wasn't recording my voice, but it's definitely recording now. So sorry again for the difficulties, but everything should be just fine.
All right. I think this would be a fun time to come in and then go into aliens. Since we kind of just did a first segment without introducing anything, which I mean, I wouldn't mind playing as the first segment. Just coming in on that topic at some point, just starting the recording, and then coming back in after a song with like us introing and then into alien talk.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. So I guess we'll go I'm just trying to think of how we want to sort of like brace ourselves into that discussion. Because like I can bring us back, you know, and then
springtime. Spring started this week. Spring means new beginnings, new life outside the earth.
Just stop.
You're reaching, big dog.
Stop talking. Oh no,
hold on. Let me think. I'm trying to.
Wait. Let me. I need to prepare myself for this conversation.
Yeah, me too, actually. So give me a sec.
All right. I think I got a way that we can come back into this.
I have no idea what to say on this.
Do you think aliens exist, Max?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. I'm done.
Like, why do you think aliens exist? That would be what you say on this, big dog.
You had a lot to say last week. You're like, oh, I could talk about this for hours.
I can, man. I think because it's something that could be out there that I think a lot of arrogant assholes aren't talking about. I think at this point you're just arrogant if you don't think that aliens are out there.
How long was that segment?
643 bars.
Damn, that was gonna be my exact same answer. You son of a bitch.
What time is it? That was probably like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was probably about 15, 20.
All right, let me take a hit.
I think we dragged it.
Depending on where we want to start that cut conversation at. Probably anywhere from 15 to 20. Yeah, Andrew, if you just want to bring us in, if you just want to bring us in and then just be like, what's up? I have something that could get us on to aliens. And I mean,
Okay.
it's pretty direct, but
Yeah.
it's just something, an article.
Okay, give me 1 sec.
Get that shit out of here.
What if he was just like, give me a second, and we just saw him turn around and grab the cat and just throw it across the screen into the other room. Just oh shit.
Yeah, Thea, dude. Thea, dude. It happens, but I sort of now will just grace us it back into what's going on, everybody. My name's Andrew Levin. This is from the Nosebleeds podcast. Hit us up on Twitter @_ from the Nosebleeds. I'm sorry I'm falling apart a little bit right now. There's sort of cats climbing around all over our show, literally and metaphorically. I'm here with Will Mosley. Will, say hello.
What up?
Mac Young is in Colorado. What's going on, Mac?
Not much, man. How y'all doing?
So we're here talking sports, shooting the shit like always. And I guess Will Mosley's got something that he wants to lend to the conversation. Will Mosley.
Yeah, the fact that all three of us who are out there postgraduate looking for jobs, we didn't even think about applying for a NASA job to protect the Earth that has a 6-figure salary. So apparently they have a planetary protection officer that they posted this job at the end of the summer.
I'm about to start tailoring my resume right now.
Yeah. Well, apparently the position has been filled, but they haven't said who. Because so this was posted, I think, October, November-ish. And then the job posting on NASA's website disappeared in like December, but they haven't announced who it was. The previous planetary protection officer was Catherine Conley, who apparently moved to a new position. And the yearly salary is anywhere from $124,000 to $180,000 a year.
Is there a job description?
Read it out loud.
The planetary protection officer is responsible for implementing policies during NASA spaceflight missions. NASA maintains policies for planetary protection applicable to all spaceflight missions that may intentionally or unintentionally carry Earth organisms and organic constitutes to the planet or other solar system bodies, and any mission employing spacecraft which are intended to return to Earth and its biosphere with samples from the extraterrestrial targets of exploration. So
I would take the job.
I don't know what any of those words mean, really. So we're gonna have to figure that out.
I don't know what any of those words mean either, which is kind of the case for a lot of words that I come across. However, I'll take that job on one condition, and that's that the job title has to be changed to ambassador to aliens, right? Because that's pretty much what that's saying, right? Like, if and when, and I would stress the if, I know Mosley would stress the when, if and when we come across something that isn't human, that's going to be the person who's going to negotiate with those motherfuckers. Is that what I'm to understand?
When we have run into people from other planets, I'm guessing this was the person that handled those previous engagements. Yes.
That's definitely not what you said in the job description, but I like it.
I'm guessing that's what they were for.
I don't care what it said in the job description. That's just what I want the job to be, dude. Listen, let's be honest. Like, okay, dude, if there's aliens, then they're smarter than us. And if they're smarter than us, then they could get their asses here to meet us. I don't understand why, I understand that it's fun to think about. And, dude, there are other things that I believe in. Do not get me wrong. Ghosts are fucking real, dude. All right, ghosts.
You're gonna sit here and defend ghosts more than you're gonna defend the probability of aliens?
Ghosts are attached to something that was actually living. That was ghosts.
That's a whole belief system, dude.
It died. It finished. It was attached to a bunch of electrical impulses that died.
So you believe in the soul?
I think that ghosts are more believable. I would even give you Yeti before I would give you alien, dude. I would give you Megalodon before I would give you alien. And I don't even know why
this
that
is
is.
this
real
has
thing
got to be
anyway.
thrown on Twitter, like, because that is preposterous. In 2018, if you will not say that aliens are probably, if not definitely out there, you are in the minority.
I'm not saying that I'm not in the minority, and I don't know if they exist or not. I'm not intelligent enough on the subject to have a very good opinion. All I will say that
you're intelligent enough on ghosts to say ghosts are definitely here.
Because I can say for a fact that I feel in my heart and soul that I have seen a ghost before. Do you feel in your heart and soul that aliens exist?
Yes.
What's your ghost story? What's your ghost story? When'd you see one? What happened?
So I felt like I have seen a ghost twice, but the one that feels more concrete to me is my folks live in this uber residential neighborhood in Charleston, South Carolina that is probably, I think we would all agree, probably knowing what we know about that city, it's probably built on something that was questionable at one point or another. Can we at least agree on that?
Oh yeah.
So I think it's fair to say that there are some goings on there spiritually that are at least a little bit fucked up. And so one night I'm in the car and I'm driving home and I'm by myself and it's late at night and I hit a stop sign and I look to my right and I feel like I fucking see something that is definitely not a person, but definitely not a person, dude. And I'm not, dude.
Which shape was it? Was it the shape of a person?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I would say, and don't get me wrong, dude. I like to think that I'm someone who can keep things really logical, and I feel like Will Mosley's the same way, which is why I'm sort of surprised to hear him just be like, "Oh, I don't know how you wouldn't think at all that aliens don't exist," because I don't understand. I just. What is the basis for that, dude? The reason that ghosts exist,
numbers, odds, the odds that it's going to happen, the fact that we've found other planets that could sustain life out there, and we keep finding more planets that could sustain life out there. The fact that there's been a lot of unexplained things on Earth that has already happened that just builds up. And you're saying if they're smart enough, why haven't they already come here? And like, why don't we know about them? If they're that much smarter than us, do you not think they'd be careful? Like, do you like already come here? I do believe that there's a probability that they just came here a long time ago and they were like, let's not freak them out. Let's just do like there's things that we can't explain that could be explained by aliens being here. And I'm not saying
like
that's why I believe in them, but I'm saying that that's
like
definitely
wait,
option. Like,
hold on, Mac. Hold everything. Did you just say that you think there are things that have happened in history that were consequential to aliens visiting our planet?
I'm saying that there could have been aliens that have come to our planet before that we have, like, that people have experienced that we interpreted as different things.
Like, for example?
Like a lot of the beginnings of religions, stories, a lot of the stories about people coming from the clouds, a lot of historical, like, religious stories could have been interpreted as aliens. I'm not saying that that's my reason for believing in aliens. My believing in aliens comes down to the fact that odds are that there's other life out there that's intelligent. And just the belief that, like, they haven't come and seen us isn't a good argument to me for, like, they definitely don't exist. And so I'm going to play the odds that I do think they exist. The reason I'm not saying that I don't believe in ghosts. I'm just saying that if I had to, like, pick one of those two to be like, that is real, I'm definitely going to go with aliens, because we don't know. And there's a pretty good chance out there. Like I said, there's a lot of planets that have found that could sustain life. There are a lot of UFO and alien
Have we only found like
reportings.
one planet or like two planets that could sustain life?
No, we found 30 in 2017 that could sustain life.
Fine, but the life that we're finding there that's sustainable is anemic at best. not amoeba. It's from the I don't even know how to say that. Is it
anaerobic?
Is it anemic? I don't know how to say it. It doesn't matter. It's really small life, okay? It's not fucking
microbial.
It's not it's not like Marklars from South Park, like chilling, okay? The life that we're finding there. We're finding things that
I'm not talking about stuff that we found. We are a planet that's in what's called a Goldilocks zone, which means it's far enough and close enough to a sun to be able to sustain water and life. That's just how we know on measurements of that. We found 30 of those planets in 2017 alone, which does show that we've just found that those planets could sustain life. We haven't been there. We haven't seen anything on them. We've just measured their distance from suns and been able to find that there are a lot of fucking planets out there already that we can find that are like that. And in a universe that is infinitely expanding, I think it is ridiculous to be like, there's no other intelligent life out there when it's infinitely expanding.
Well, is it more likely that ghosts exist or that aliens exist?
Aliens.
Both of you think aliens. Dude,
Thank you.
Put that on the poll, dude. At underscore the
that is going to be the easiest poll question I have ever asked.
Which do you think is more likely to exist, aliens or ghosts? I think ghosts, dude. I really think ghosts, man. I think more people are going to say ghosts than are going to say aliens.
Infinite universe.
I understand the
universe is absurd,
but that argument works the other way also, dude. You're counting on trying to find something that's verifiable and something that is infinitely expanding, dude. Ghosts exist, dude. People see ghosts all the time. Like there are absolutely ways of reading energy and with fucking heat and fucking movement of air particles and shit. And those things can be done now in 2018. Like
So would you call bullshit on people that say that they saw UFOs? You'd call bullshit on people that say they saw UFOs, right?
I don't know if
But you're not going to call bullshit on people that say that they saw a ghost? Like I'm just saying that's the only thing that's quantifiable about ghosts being real is people saying I felt a ghost or I saw a ghost.
But that's not true.
But I don't know.
And then there's just as many people I think on the other side who are like I've never felt a ghost and I've never saw a ghost, and that's the only evidence you have for or against ghosts.
Fine.
There's no scientific recordings of possibilities of that happening. All scientific evidence points to know that there's no reason that could happen. And all scientific evidence points to, yeah, there could be life out there.
Well,
like there's no scientific evidence that would say that there's no chance. And that's where I think that they're very different.
Every single UFO encounter story I have ever heard is sketchy at best, dude. It's always one person. They're Bigfoot stories to me, dude.
This is where I would agree with Andrew. I mean, I don't know if I believe people who said they've seen UFOs, but I do believe in aliens. But yeah, so I don't know. I think they're both real. I don't think both of them are possible. I don't think people have seen UFOs, and I don't think ghosts are real.
I think that
I'm not saying I don't think that. I think the vast majority, if not all, of UFO claims are horseshit. I think they saw something that they interpreted as a UFO, or they just made it up because they're crazy. I think that all of the ghosts, I think that everyone who feels like they've seen a ghost or feels like they saw a ghost has probably been misinterpreting feelings and thinking about something else and had a misinterpreted feeling and lapse of the mind somehow.
So
I think that that's very common for people to have, but I don't think that I do not think
that my emotions got the best of me and that I allowed that there's just something unsettled in myself that
Yep.
Oh my God, dude. It's almost shocking to me that you're so confident in aliens existing and so unbelievably, even maybe more confident that ghosts don't, dude. You live in a town where the Civil War came through, dude.
It's not that I'm 100% certain ghosts don't exist. But I am pretty fucking sure that there's aliens out there.
Are you closer? Do you believe that you are currently geographically closer to a ghost or an alien?
He doesn't believe in ghosts, man. So ghosts aren't around.
The aliens, like
dude,
I think we can all agree. I think we can all agree that there's one alien on Earth, and that's Big Gronk.
That's fair.
Oh, that was pretty good. Don't say that's fair next time. Just let it sit.
I can cut that out. See, I'll play with it.
I didn't see. I was sitting here busy, like trying to figure out actually trying to tweet that. I didn't see any like cut motion or anything.
I'm shocked. I'm speechless, dude. I'm speechless, man. You were the one who talked my ear off, stoned as balls in college one time about how Megalodon definitely exists, dude. And you're going to tell me a fucking giant – I lobbed that shit out there conversationally for you. And you're going to sit here and tell me that you don't believe in ghosts, but you believe in a fucking giant shark swimming around in the ocean.
All right. Yeah, that was probably just me being super high because I think that Megalodon, like, there's a chance that a giant shark used to exist. Probably isn't around anymore.
Megalodon did exist.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, no. I'm not anti-Megalodon here. I'm not backtracking on those statements.
You fucking Megalodonist.
What I'm saying is, I was probably really high when I went on that rant about it still being around.
Oh, there's no question.
All right, cool. So that was 2 solid segments. Probably got time for, one probably more solid one or a couple really quick hitters. So whatever you guys want to do.
Hold on.
The ones I have notes for over that, like we went over last week, are the end of the NBA and Tiger versus Federer. Or Andrew had you had all of those other funny topics that you wrote down.
Yeah. I don't really have. So when is the official end of the NBA regular season?
I mean, it's still a couple of weeks away. I mean, it's at the end of April.
It's near
the end of April, but I mean, there's
okay.
I mean, in the Western Conference, there's only
let's talk NBA. Are you prepared to have a conversation on that, Will Mosley?
NBA?
He doesn't need notes.
I was about to say, bro, let's just roll with NBA conversation. All right, let's go.
Wait.
We'll go quiet for a couple of seconds.
Hold on.
Back.
God damn, I wish I would have brought my bowl in.
Okay, go ahead.
Welcome back, people. My name is Andrew Levin, and this is from the Nosebleeds podcast. I'm here with Mac Young and Will Mosley. It's getting close to the end of the NBA regular season, so we're going to talk about it a little bit. And my question for you is, what do we know? Because I don't feel like we know a whole lot. We know that Houston's really good at offense, and what else?
The Warriors are hurting.
Anthony Davis is a freak.
Anthony Davis is an absolute freak. I'll ask this right now. Do you think the Rockets might have the edge on the Warriors right now if they were to play a series?
Not even close, dude.
I think a healthy Warrior still has the edge in a 7-game series, and I think it does go to 7 this year just because of how good Houston's looked and because they're going to have home court advantage. But if I really don't know if any of the top 3, Clay, KD, or Steph, go down. I'm really not sure if I don't switch over to Houston in 7 games. I mean, I think if all 4 of the big 4 for Golden State are up there, they're going to win in a 7-game series in 7 games. But, I mean, I think one injury to either KD or Steph, and I'm going to give Houston the advantage at this point. I do think that it's that close now.
Do you think, as according to Dan Toney, that Harden is the best offensive player ever, or even in the NBA right now?
I don't know about ever. I'd probably say in the NBA right now.
More than KD?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, because he has the ball in his hand and brings it up court right now, yes.
What about Steph?
KD doesn't play a
Steph
position
has
where they
better
only
hands.
bring it up. Nah, I'd give the edge to James Harden because I don't think that I give the edge to James Harden on offense by himself because Steph's always kind of had KD or Clay there to like take the shooting off of him a little bit in a lot of games, and I think that helps Steph out a lot. I'm not trying to like diminish Steph being amazing. I'm just that's my reasoning for why I think that Harden has a little bit of the edge on him personally.
Is his ability to drive or his ability to just be able to be the one and only, not need that
Yeah,
second
I mean,
man?
he just proved after he left OKC that he could carry Houston as the best player to one of the best teams in the NBA. I mean, obviously he needed help to get over that hump, but I think everyone, I mean, you can't win an NBA title anymore with one great player and a bunch of role players. You have to at least have two, probably three, and in the Warriors' case, four.
I mean, I would say that. I mean, if Steph Curry went to a team like the Rockets after being with, like having that like the big three in Golden State, like there was the big three, the Thunder, that he'd be posting similar numbers to James Harden. Wouldn't you if he had his own team like that?
No, I don't see him putting. Like I think James Harden's a little bit better of a passer. I think that he gets to the free throw line more, so he can wear those long minutes as the main player a little better because he slows down the game a lot more. And like I said, I think that Steph, not to knock Steph, because I think that he is one of the best players in the NBA. I think that he benefits his entire career at Golden State from having Clay to help it. You have to guard Clay really tight because he's always that good of a shooter. He's had Draymond there to help him out, and now he has Kevin there also. I think you when you're talking about something that's as close as James Harden and Steph Curry's greatness, Steph just hasn't had to do that yet, and I've seen James Harden do it.
Yeah,
I've seen James Harden be the best player on his team. I've seen James Harden be an amazing role player with Oklahoma City, and now I've seen him mesh brilliantly with another All-Star. And I've seen Steph be phenomenal, just as phenomenal as James Harden. He's just done it in one system with other great players his entire career so far, the entire stretch that he's really been great.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's a fantastic player. I think I would put KD just ahead of him. Just for his ability, his ability to drive to the basket as well as have a high percentage shooting from range.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I think Kevin Durant's right up there as I think we're looking at the best offensive players in NBA history right now. I mean, I think that's easy just because of the 3-point efficiency and everything. I mean, comparatively to their age, I think you probably
the shooting.
I don't know. I mean, I think comparatively to their age in basketball, you'd probably say that Wilt Chamberlain or Kareem were the most efficient offensive players ever, just because the type of basketball they were playing up against and how ridiculously dominant they were in their sport. Yeah, Oscar Robinson, but I was just thinking offensive, like points wise, like Wilt obviously just being that much taller and better than everybody else around him. But I think when you take into effect like the 3-pointer, then yeah, I think we're looking at the most efficient offensive people ever.
Well, of course we are, but that's because they changed the math on us. Like, dude, part of me still believes that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar could go out and get you like 15 a night in the NBA. Like, I don't think anyone.
Are you talking about Kareem like now?
I'm talking about Kareem today getting you 15 off the bench because no one's guarding the skyhook.
I think he could easily get you like 13 and 9.
right now.
Just picking up
You are
boards.
so full of shit. There's no
I don't know.
way.
Lonzo Ball got a triple-double this year. You're telling me that like he can get 10 rebounds, but like Kareem
right
couldn't
now
stand
cannot
under the basket and
get
get 10
rebounds.
rebounds?
Dude, I actually believe, part of me
There's
believes.
no way.
Dude, no, who's guarding the skyhook, dude? Who's guarding it? Who
How
is
old
guarding
is
the
he?
skyhook, dude? I don't know. He's old, man. I
He's
don't
old.
I don't mean to call someone old, dude. I'm not even sure he would dispute that. He is old, and I'm pretty sure he could still ball. Whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa. But anyway, I mean, like I was saying, I really think that he would have like a pretty decent chance of making that happen in a significant way.
Not a chance. What could Bill Russell get a point?
No.
But
Kareem can get.
That is a tremendous question and a wonderful
Kareem can get you
conversation.
15.
Bill Russell was only averaging like 8 points when he played anyway. He was just, or like 10
Whoa,
points.
dude. Whoa. I don't think that's true at all. Is that, dude? There's no way that's true. If he only averaged 8 at any point during his career, I don't think we would look at him the same. Dude,
no, Bill Russell. I'm not exaggerating, but let's not act like Bill Russell. Bill Russell was not known for him just ridiculously scoring over everybody.
What do you know about Bill Russell other than his rings?
What do you know about
Bill Russell? He invented the block.
Hey, I'm asking the question.
People didn't record the block until they saw him play basketball. That's what happened with Bill Russell. He invented something that we track now.
Dude, put that up on the poll. Do you think Bill Russell could score 1 point? Man, that's a great question. I would say no, but for some reason I feel like
not a chance.
Go out and get, dude. I believe a lot more in Kareem's ability to get 15 than I do Bill's to get 1, and that's probably mad disrespect to Bill Russell, dude, and anyone listening above the age of 70, maybe 80. I'm not really sure at this point. That might be kind of mean, also, but. Dude, I think that he could do it, dude. I really do. I think he's better. I think Kareem right now is better than 50% of the true big men left in the league. Kareem right now.
What would Larry Bird get?
Here we go. Hold up. Well, Larry Bird doesn't have a back, so let's not go throwing him into this. He didn't ask for this. Bill Russell's highest average ever was 18 points in the league. His last season, he averaged 9 points in the league. Thank you.
This is last year, man. He's on his way out.
I mean, yeah.
He was 34. LeBron's 35, right? Or like 33. What?
Yeah. Dude,
he didn't have LeBron's trainer.
That's definitely for sure. You mean steroids?
Yeah.
Whoa.
We're not going to go there. I don't think so.
That is reckless speculation if I've ever heard it, dude. That is we've put a hard allegedly on that, Will Mosley. A hard allegedly.
We can throw allegedly on that all we want. I don't feel like that's that ridiculous of a theory. That's out there. A lot of people think that already. That I'm not saying it's a mainstream thing that everyone's accusing him of, but I mean, it does raise a question why the dude's never played less than like 66 games in his entire NBA career. And he came back up to Cleveland. He was like, that first season, he was like, man, I'm really tired. He took a trip down to Miami, probably saw his doctor friends. He came back really strong for the playoffs. Like, that's not like that crazy of a theory. That's a theory that's out there. I'm not the one spouting, like, I'm not the one starting this theory out of nowhere. That's something that like a decent amount of people have questioned. Because it does raise a question why he's been at his athletic peak for his entire NBA career.
I mean, he's still not going to win the MVP.
If you go to South Beach and you come back a stronger human, steroids are involved.
It's got to be steroids. And I'm not knocking it. If it came out that LeBron James would be on steroids, I'd have been like, yeah.
Oh, but we've talked about this before, dude. I mean, is there anyone anymore? Like, sexual harassment and steroids are those two things at this point where I'm just like, no one fucking surprises me, dude. There's not an athlete that, like, dude, they got Deke Gordon, okay?
That's what I said. That was my
Deke Gordon is 131 pounds. He's hit 1 home run in his entire career, dude. They got him. Everyone is vulnerable, dude. Everyone. Like, there's just no one at this point that surprises me. LeBron James included, allegedly.
Yeah, I'm not saying I got sources that are telling me that LeBron James was on steroids.
Adam
I'm
Schefter
saying
right now.
that I would not be surprised if it came out that that dude was on steroids, and I'm also not knocking him for it because he might need it this year to win an NBA title.
They don't have a chance, dude.
No chance? No
None.
chance, really.
None, dude. None. I would bet. No. Nope. The field every time, dude. I don't think Cleveland has any sort of chance whatsoever, man.
Do you think they'll make it to the finals?
No.
Who do you think they're going to lose to?
Either Toronto or Boston.
Can I just go through matchups with you? They'll get right now Cleveland, Washington in the first round. You have them beating Washington?
Yes, I do, but I also think John Wall's going to win 2 games off him, so that's going to be 6 games right there, which is 2 games longer than he's used to.
That's fair. I don't think you're wrong there. Next team he'd be playing, winner of Boston, Miami, probably going to be Boston. You think he's going to be Boston?
You know what, man? I think that it's going to be Boston, and I think that it's going to be a really good series, but I would also say that I think that Miami gotten into the playoffs last year on the last day of the season, I actually thought that they would have had a chance as an 8 seed to take Cleveland to 7 games. I think that Eric Spoelstra is tremendous at adapting to the teams that he's playing. And so, yeah, let's call it Boston. Fine. This is the way I see it, dude. You've got 2 teams in the East, in my opinion, that can beat Cleveland. And chances are Cleveland's going to have to beat both of them to win the East. And so, in my opinion, I think that the second team, whether it's Toronto or Boston, the second team that Cleveland gets, they're going to have a really good shot at beating Cleveland because chances are they will have played 2 very long series already. I mean,
I see your reasoning. I don't think that Toronto has a chance to beat LeBron James. Not Cleveland, LeBron James. I don't think the city of Toronto, all of them on a basketball court together, could beat LeBron James on a basketball court by himself. Don't think it could happen. And then I don't think that I think that Boston is 1 year away from beating them. And I mean, they're injury plagued right now going into the playoffs, so that's not even positive anyway. I think Cleveland is probably the second best team in the East still this year because I think that they're better than Boston. Boston just got off to a great start, and with Boston's help, I don't think that they're what they were at the beginning of the season. And I think Toronto, like I said, the whole city versus LeBron as an individual, I think LeBron would beat them like 104 to 101.
And we saw last night that, like, even though DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry helped those boys get a huge lead in the first half, that when DeMar can't score, he's not a great scorer, when he can't score, they have no one, and they do ISOs with him and Kyle all day, and they have no one else to feed off of, and DeMar can't shoot very well, so you don't have much. Your offense isn't cooking with very much, so I think if they lose, it's going to be the Celtics, not the Raptors.
See, I think if they lose, it's going to be Miami or Philadelphia that beats them. In the East. I really think that those 2 teams are the only 2 teams that when I've looked at like Cleveland matching up against them, do I think that they could
that's
actually
the best
lose.
Matchup that's a good matchup for the Sixers since right now, the Cavs don't have a big man anyway, but they really don't have any big men now.
So, Will Mosley, how happy are you at this point that you didn't take my Whitney Houston music video bet?
Very happy, and there's a reason why I said that I didn't think they'd make it, but hey.
So confident that they weren't going to make the playoffs, dude. And it's the Eastern Conference, man. That's the lesson to be learned there, dude. They're going to be really good. Can we say that? Like, are we at a point where we can say that they're going to be really good? Like, they're the thing. They're the thing that's coming.
I'm at a point where I'll say I think that everyone can say they will be really good if Joel Embiid stays healthy. But I think that asterisk is going to be probably on him for at least 1 more year, if not 2, because he's a big man who had back problems or foot problems, and those 2 are things that when it comes to big men, I think that scares everybody for good reasons. Because when you're a big man and you have back problems or foot problems, those usually don't go away. So I think that maybe the rest of his career, but definitely at least for one more year, you have the question hanging over that team is if Joel Embiid can stay healthy, then you can. I mean, he played what? He played his first back-to-back ever, like 30 games into this season. Like I'm just not confident enough to say that I'm like would be confident in him being healthy for good. But with him healthy, yes, I think the 76ers are going to be really, really good.
Mac Young.
I mean, here's what keeps him on the mend. It's his new routine of cheeseburgers and foot rubs.
Hey,
I'm all in on that. Going. Yeah.
I mean,
pregame burger and foot rubs, man. That's what's going to keep him on the court.
Those are two really, really good things. Those are two really, really good things. There are things out there that are better than that, but not a lot. Not a lot.
Not when you put them together.
No. Well, I don't know. I've never really experienced that, but
I don't know. But
good for
Joel Embiid looks really freaking happy when he's eating a cheeseburger and getting a foot rub.
Yeah, 100%, man, because we all would feel that way. And so, yeah, man. I mean, I just think they're going to be great, and I think that we're going to get to a point where free agents are going to start going there, and there's this guy, LeBron James, who's got to make a pretty big decision. I don't think he's going to Philadelphia because I, too, think that he sees that Joel Embiid is not at that point yet, right? Like, we don't have that much trust in him, but they're coming, dude. They're coming, and how could you not feel fucking horrible for Sam Hinkie, dude? Because he was right. He was right, dude. He was just.
I don't think you can. I don't think you feel horrible for Sam Hinkie and say he was 1 year away from doing it. Because I think that you do get to a point where the process was a nice slogan, and if Joel Embiid worked out, then it was going to be nice. But Sam Hinkie didn't put asses in the seats for a lot of seasons, and he wasn't bringing in revenue. And I don't think you can blame him for blame them for letting him go at the time that they let him go. And I don't even think it was a bad move because I think that you probably did need that next GM to take over. It's just kind of like everyone always says, you get one coach that'll get you there, that'll get you to a certain spot, and then you sometimes have to get the next coach that'll put you over that next hump. Like you might have a coach like Marvin Lewis at the Bengals who can get you to the playoffs every year, but eventually you're probably going to need a coach who can take your franchise and win a playoff game or take you to a Super Bowl or something like that, or take you to an NBA championship. And so I think on the general managing side of that, I do think Sam Hinkie is kind of that example of the guy who gave them a really brilliant base. But if he'd have just kept drafting more people and sitting more people and not taking the chance to sign JJ Redick this offseason and do some of the things that happened since Sam Hinkie's been gone, I don't know if they would be where they are. So I'm not going to sit here and like cry over spilt milk for Sam Hinkie when, I mean, yeah, he outlined something that's pretty basic for you and me to think about, though. You want to be at the bottom. You want to get big picks. It's okay to be at the bottom for 3 or 4 years if it means then you're going to rise to the top for 7 to 10 years.
Absolutely. And that's why I think Sam Hinkie is unbelievably brilliant. But this has been from the Nosebleeds podcast. My name is Andrew Levin. That's Will Mosley. Mac Young, thank you so much. Anything else before we get out of here?
Nope.
I got nothing.
Cool, people. We will talk to you next week. Au revoir.
Love you guys.
All right, cool. So I'm going to stop my